Alafia, my sweet loves. This is TatiannaTarot. Hella impromptu video. Was not planning to make a video this week. Actually, I did, but time passed me by. I was very exhausted. I don't do readings when I'm very energetically exhausted or moody, because then that influences me even worse. But now here we are, the beginning of spring. Ashe to y'all. Hopping into Aries season, and I feel compelled with this break that I have in my sessions today to give you a quick reading about what is to come for this week. Now, I actually wanted to do a reading for the new year, because theoretically, as we transition into Aries, it is the astrological new year. A lot of y'all are feeling it. I know I felt it. The beginning of this year was a hot mess. A hot tickety-tackety toe of a mess. And we're all kind of like praying and waiting for whatever it is that we're experiencing to pass. And I feel like that this is the revelation of better things to come, right? The new year is definitely giving us some sort of relief. Going into Aries season, we feel more energized, we feel more passionate, enlivened, empowered. It's a very solar chakra. It's a very fiery energy. Let me throw myself out there. We see momentum. We see movement. We're going out of the very woo-woo phases and emotional stages of Pisces season. So just really, really exciting to hear what's going on in your lives personally, what's going to go on globally, and what's to come for the rest of the year. So I know I'm starting this off hella late, it being a Wednesday, but Spirit is always on time. So thank you again for joining me. So we're going to do this reading for March 20th, leading all the way to, because I was not prepared. Hold on, let me just whip out my calendar, leading all the way to Sunday the 24th, okay? And that's still going to be relevant for this week. Just doing the reading for this week, I am probably going to do an IG live that tells us more in-depth reading for each sign for the new year, right? Because I actually didn't do that in January. I didn't give you guys like a new year reading, and I think this is why, because that wasn't really the new year. That was us in the middle of Capricorn going into Aquarius season. That's not new year. So let us see what Spirit wants us to know for these couple of days. All right, using my old ass Rider-Waite cards as per usual. And I call upon the honorable ancestors, our higher selves, our spirit guides, the Orishas, the Loas, archangels, ascendant masters, Netaru, Pleiadians, Syrians, Arcturians, and any other light being energies that want to come through for guidance and direction. Come through. What can we expect energetically for the week of Wednesday, March 20th, all the way to Sunday, the 24th? What can we expect energetically? What does the collective need to know? All right, so let me whip out all these cards that look really interesting. I pull out 5. That's my intuitive number. I'm a priestess of Ochun, so 5 it is. There's no rhyme or reason. Just loving it. So let's get into it, because all of a sudden, I'm just seeing hella major arcanas for this week, which is awesome. Major arcanas really highlight the overall massive themes and the archetypes that we are going through and we're experiencing as a collective. And so the minor arcana kind of pinpoints to who, what, when, wheres, as to the whys these are going on. Off the bat, the center of our spread, we have the High Priestess. Okay, so it's almost as if this week we have learned and we have integrated all of the lessons that we've experienced through Pisces season, through Pisces being very woo-woo, very intuitive, very much succumb to the subconscious realm, paying attention to our inner mysteries, right? And what story that tells us, how that makes us, how that creates the world around us, and how that affects other things and other energies around us. High Priestess is the ruler of your subconscious. She is the ruler, like I said, of your inner mystery. She is your inner witch. She is your inner wizard. And she's almost very self-righteous in the most positive of ways, where she is the message of self-validation. I don't need to go get a reading. I don't need to ask a friend about what I should be doing. I trust the guru within. I consult my inner wisdom. And I trust that innately. No ifs, ands, or buts. I know how to interpret my own signs. I know how to interpret my own messages. Whose dog is on the loose? We're not doing that right now. Freaking dogs. I know how to interpret my own signs. I know how to interpret my own messages. High Priestess is very much, see, that's probably some sort of a sign or something. Very much talking about this week, there still being remnants of maybe dreams or any inklings, any inclinations, any feelings, any gut instincts that are now still surfacing. We're all naturally intuitive. But if the High Priestess comes out, it's certainly a very loud message that is being thrown in our faces. That your spirit and your soul is bringing up to the surface. It could be a very woo-woo event that you go to. When I say woo-woo, I speak of things that are mystically inclined. Could be like a workshop, an event, a ceremony. It could be that you're just really leaning towards that sort of energy right now in your lives. Again, it could be that you're just, things are super, super in alignment for you. Like, you think of something and a situation happens that mirrors that thought. So definitely don't disregard what is going on in terms of your emotions, your feelings, your synchronicities, your coincidences, your instincts, your intuition. This would be a phenomenal week to whip out your decks, to start practicing divination, to go look up about your natal chart, your signs, playing with your crystals, practicing healing in an alternative way, meditating, anything that really pertains to alternative healing and magic. That is the rule and the realm of the High Priestess. But what's most imperative is that you trust the message that comes through. All right? It's like someone who pulls for a particular question, pulls the cards for a particular question and doesn't necessarily trust the answer coming through, and they ask the same question over and over and over again. Don't be that person. Don't be that irritating person. Trust what you get, and move forward, because as we're moving into Aries, that is the sign of initiation. That is the sign that's almost like a newborn child who isn't very keen of the repercussions of their own actions, how they just move forward and they launch and they initiate, and they are just very, action oriented and free spirited and free. They're like a free bird in that way. And so you want to take that information that's been resonating with you. You want to take those signs. You want to interpret that for yourself, and you want to move forward. And furthermore, to back up that message is the first card that we have received, which is the Chariot. And I believe it was a week ago that we also had received this card. So it's such a great confirmation, because Jesus Christ, we're moving out of our shit. Like, when we get the Chariot, is like you're not stifled. You now know better. You now have the energy to do better. You now have the courage to do better. The roads are opening. I think I even pulled this for my daily meditation on my social media platforms that I post on Instagram and Twitter. This is a card for the collective. And this being the first card of the week, it is basically saying, the Most High is saying, I am opening the roads for you. But more importantly, because you have done the inner work, because you're listening to your signs, because you're acting accordingly and you're removing the obstacles in your own path. You're opening up the roads for yourself as well. So here, I'm going to give you X, Y, and Z as a reward. And now things are going to be seamlessly moving in a direction that is more with ease, more with a sense of speed and acceleration and urgency in a good way. Like, oh, we see progress. Like if something was stalling in your work department, in your career, lack of creativity, lack of sexual energy, lack of self-love and depression, etc., etc. Now we see a boost of energy in that direction that is pushing you forward, that is encouraging evolution furthermore, that is encouraging to actualize your greatness. The willpower in the Chariot card, this is all ruling the chakra system of your solar plexus. That deals a lot with willpower. That is your form of magic this week. Whether you will something into manifestation, which I'm actually very shocked that we did not see the Magician card, because the Magician is very much filled with conviction. I'm going to make something happen. I'm going to make it happen. Regardless of what I want, I know I'm going to make it happen. Regardless of what circumstance I'm in, I'm going to make it happen. It's an ultimate manifestation card. So I think this week is less about doing so much and acting more with a sense of deliberate intention, with a sense of precision, with a sense of, okay, what am I downloading here spiritually? What does my spirit want me to do? I am communing. I am daily communicating. I'm communicating to my honorable ancestors, my spirit court, the deities I resonate with, etc., the forces of light that are around me, and I'm getting this particular message. So what do I need to do to remove the weeds in my path so I can make that into a reality? So I can continue onward with my journey with ease, with joy. Hence the Judgment. Judgment is still a wake-up call. I mean, today being the full moon in Libra, hooty hoo, guys. Celebration, right? Happy full moon in Libra. Judgment is very much a wake-up call. I call this the cosmic homework card. Okay? And what I mean by that is usually it's like as we're going into this Aries season, we're leaving Pisces, we're leaving all of these insights and information. We now have the encyclopedia. We now have our coursework set up for us. Judgment is that horn that's saying, hello, your shit's due. It's overdue. You know what you have to do. Hand in your homework. Hand in your homework to the Most High. Hand in your work to your guides that have been trying to help you. They can only do so much. Your intentions, your dreams, your goals, the little blueprints that you're setting up for yourself for success can only do so much without your own action backing it up, without your own sense of responsibility and accountability. And so judgment time is like, okay, you are now responsible for what you want to manifest, for what you want to bring forth into the world, for what you say it is that you want and it is that you can do. Judgment can usually come in the form of a trial, a challenge. The reason why the horn is so loud in this card is because it is trying to jolt you into action, to doing something that you know you need to be doing, but you have not been doing because it could be difficult and challenging in some way. Maybe emotionally, you're tied into a situation that it's just not easy for you to pry away from. Maybe this change requires physical moves. It requires the ending of a relationship, the beginning of a relationship, something that requires you to get into your comfort zone. And it can very much be like, I got to do all that. But you know you got to do it. And you have yet to do it. So the judgment is very much like you can have these epiphanies during the week, these revelations during the week. Maybe you might be spotting other people who have finally gotten out of their own way and they're progressing. You're like, okay, what about me? And this card could be like, oh, this world can be yours as well, so long as you get to work, So I always see these cards as major forces to be working with. Major transformation happening this week, leading us into April. This is a personal initiation for all of us. And it's all contingent on what aspect of your life it can be happening in. It could be happening when it pertains to the self, right? It could be happening in terms of your career, in terms of your love life, in terms of your health, in terms of your spiritual growth, or it can be happening in all of the above or in certain aspects. It's just big, big shit. But the beauty of it is big, momentous magic. We are seeing the invisible forces push a boulder out of our way so that we have this illuminated path. The golden brick road, the yellow brick road now lies in front of us, right? And it's really up to ourselves. Are we going to do the work? Or are we going to make excuses for ourselves? Or are we going to stay behind? Because evolution is a choice here. Really interesting to see the pairing of the Judgment and the High Priestess. I would say, especially when we're seeing the Chariot before, some of y'all just going to be popping off with gifts and talents, especially if you've been sleeping on yourself, especially if some of y'all's self-talk has been like, I can't do this. I'm not talented. Jesus, I'm just not getting any dreams. Or I just don't know. When I pull the cards, I don't know what it means. Like, this could be a week where all of that is now clarified for you. Now, all of that is very understandable, comprehensible to another degree. It's like you've leveled up in some video game, some cosmic video game, and you have this extra set of powers that you couldn't access before. This is awesome. This is very important for you to note down. An extra boost of powers that you did not have access to before. Now, it could be that you've always had this gift or always had this ability, but your own mentality, your own energy was getting in the way. And so it looks like that won't be the case this week. It looks like you're teaming up your besties with yourself and you're ready to go. So this is awesome. I want to go into the other two cards. Like I said, it was going to be a quick video, but knowing my yapping ass, you never know. Next card over with, adjacent to the High Priestess is the Ten of Wands. Okay, so on one end of the spectrum, this spread is showing, bam, Chariot, bam, Judgment, bam, High Priestess. All of these major arcana cards that are like big situations, big miracles, big epiphanies. It's like your ancestors like, bitch, get your asses together. Do the work. I don't know how many times I could tell you. If you don't understand English, I'm going to probably hit you with another language. Because that's how loud the activity and the excitement and the momentum is going. 10 of Wands can still give you that warning because nothing is set in stone with the cards. It's all contingent on your personal desire for growth and how you deal with your shit and your willingness to do that. 10 of Wands is saying there's still baggage here. There's still resentment. There's still inefficient activity. There's still something that is either a chip on your shoulder or some sort of difficulty. 10 of Wands is excess energy. It can mean that you're either doing the most, you're putting too much on your plate, and you're just not working efficiently. You're not focusing on one task at a time. You're very scatterbrained, and you're not paying attention to the workload, literally and figuratively. This can also mean that maybe a lot of people are depending on you just because the energies are super, 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 super huge. I think I had mentioned this on my Twitter account recently, that you want to be paying attention to people who just rely on you for your strength. You're not a freaking bulldozer. You're not a container for people's emotional bullshit. You are on your own independent journey, and you are responsible for the things that you personally do, not other people. So you got to be mindful of who's projecting stuff at you, or who's going to be piling on nonsense, or things that you willingly accept and take from other people because you're not conscious of your sense of empathy and your empath skills and your ability to be a big vessel. And maybe you're taking on other people's stuff to avoid the work that you are really meaning to be doing for yourself at this time. So the Ten of Wands can also mean situations and circumstances and energy of the past that you're still dragging on into the future. And so this is going to be massively highlighted, okay? It's not 100% set in stone that you're really going to be bringing this into the future. I got the mail lady being like, ding, ding, ding. Some old nosy here. It's not like you're 100% going to bring this into the future. Like I said, it's all contingent on what you decide to do, how responsible you are. But it is coming up as a possibility here. So again, this is a massive week to let go. You know, if it is the case that you're manifesting a lot of shit and you just got a lot on your plate, and this doesn't really pertain to any emotional stuff or other things that people are putting on you, think smarter, not harder. Ask specifically for what it is you need clarity in and on. Ask your guides. They're all around you. Ask angelic forces. Ask the deities, the Neteru, the Orishas, the Loas, the whatever you work with, that you resonate with integrity and tact. Do so in a way that pays prospective dues and respect to those traditions. But ask. First and foremost, ask your honorable ancestors. Pray and meditate. Ask them to come out in a dream form. Ask them to come out in a particular sign that only you can recognize. Sit your ass down and start journaling. See what comes out. Because they're very loud. They're just like, hello. This is such an exciting combination, and they will be pinpointing the exact aspects of your life that you need to work on at this time to bring you more ache, to bring you more success, to bring you more of what you're particularly looking for and seeking for in your own life. There are things that you will need to let go. That is absolutely a must. For the most part, I see the majority of us thriving. I see this week should not be very energetically heavy as it was the past couple of weeks. Not emotionally so. It should mean like you're cleaning up aisle 2. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get this together. There's also a lot of movement happening in terms of the energy. In terms of, again, you might see different dynamics changing. You might see your opinions and your beliefs changing about a person or about a thing, or about a situation. You'll be shifting, lots of shifting, right? And that's where the magic happens. You may find that there is truth that is coming out of somebody that you didn't integrate or think about before. That gives you it's like an epiphany, an answer that you needed this whole time. Release that weight, release that baggage. And also, this is a divine week to be doing magic for that stuff. If you're inclined to be doing ritual for yourself, I really don't feel the need for this week to be like a week where you have to do any scrubs or nothing. Like, it's not dense that way. I'm seeing more like magic with fire. So candle magic, or you know how people like to write petitions, or do like these new moon intentions, and burn things that they're releasing. That kind of stuff looks like it's the best course for you at this week. In this week. Last card is the Page of Wands. Page of Wands is a seeker. He's excitement. This is very Aries. He's like, what else can I get into that I've not gotten into before? Okay, you are a vessel of greatness. Why stick to one thing? Once you're doing the work and you're in the momentum, and it's like, okay, bam, bam, bam. Because there's just no resting period when it comes to spirit, right? It's an ever evolving situation. It doesn't mean that things are doom and gloom, but it's like, you have a challenge. Let me overcome that challenge. Bloop, 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 bloop. Okay, next level. The stakes are higher. The gifts are more glorious. You're closer to God, source energy. There are more challenges now. You have to chip away the layers of fakeness that you've accumulated over the years and that you've attracted. So it's very, very interesting. Expand beyond what you are comfortable with and what you are familiar with. That is what the Page of Wands does. So he's a traveler at heart. Energetically, he travels. He moves from thing to thing. Physically, he travels as well. Some of y'all, is probably a phenomenal time to say, oh, glory, glory, I'm going to fucking book a vacation. I'm going to go see my bestie that lives on the other side of the world. Oh, what's that? I've never been to Bali. Let me take a trip to Bali. It's just maybe you need some sacred time to deal with the accumulation of everything that you've experienced thus far. It is, think of it, the new year, right? People be leaving for the new year. They experience December 31st somewhere, lavishing around in luxury and happiness, drinking their hearts away. So it could be that, you know, sometimes a physical, relocating yourself physically, maybe it is an actual move, maybe it is travel that's conducive to energies changing in your life. It could mean that now you're moving on. I also see this as moving on from this baggage, or this sense of like, oh, things are difficult, or I'm really trying to force things into place and it's not working. And Page of Wands doesn't give any shits. He's like, I'm over it. Let's go. Next thing. I got other things to see. One life to live. People need to see this face. They need to experience this ashe. Bitches, there's enough to share. So I gotta go. It's a very carefree, jovial, happy, exciting, spontaneous card. Be spontaneous. Sexual energy is high too. If you are able to release a lot of the gunk that you've been carrying, you may feel lots of lighter, very light. You may feel like you want to move your body in that way. You may feel like you want to accept and welcome in more pleasure. When you're clearing out things that have once taken some sort of space in your life, now you have room for things that pertain to your well-being, things that are more suited for this phase and this vibration that you're in. Let me see what else. It's a very interesting reading. I cannot wait to hear what's going on in your lives. Yeah, y'all. I hope you finish out March with a bang. Okay. Yeah, progress, and evolution. So let me pull out a card from the Adinkra, excuse me, I can never say this right, Adinkra Ancestral Guidance Cards by Brasi Ando, Tools for Living. I also use this in my daily tarot meditations on Instagram and Twitter, so you can look it up. Tools for Living, BA is her handle. So let's see what we can expect for this week, oracle-wise. What is the collective message? What's the message for the collective? My bad. Nia Onim. Nia Onim. Nia Onim says the following. He who does not know, a symbol of lifelong learning. Education, quest for knowledge. Commit yourself to lifelong learning, not only in the academic sense, but also of self and cosmos. You are a universe. Explore the many wonders of you and teach the world your brilliance. We are waiting to find out what you have to offer. Additional meanings for this card. What new skills can you learn? Expansion. Stay curious about the world and yourself. So, this week's question is, who will you become when you get rid of who you once were? And who you once were are facets and aspects and energies of yourself that you no longer need, that you've outgrown, that you've inherently learned the lessons. I think this is a week of playful exploration. I think it's a week of great magic, great potential, great faith in self, and also it is very much an initiation of some sort. Will you trust yourself enough to take the plunge and go into this quest of learning and becoming all at the same time? So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you're interested in booking a virtual session with me, you can visit myurbanillumination.com and click over tarot services. You can see my calendar, book yourself. I also offer Akashic record readings. Akashic records are really, really dope. They're not tarot. It's me channeling from your masters, teachers, and loved ones and the lords of the records. And it's essentially like the Google of your soul. So I channel the records of the pure existence of your soul. Everything that your soul's ever done, experienced, said, will do, has done, past lives, future lives, healing, everything is accessible through the Akashic records. It's a super, super dope, fun modality that I've been using. Slowly weaning my way off of reading tarot and doing more Akashic record readings because it just leaves me energized, and I have buku ashe to be doing so many other things like tending to my baby and finishing up these secret tarot projects that I have for y'all. So if you're interested in booking for that too, everything is virtual via call. You can visit the site. If you are visiting New Orleans anytime soon, because Jazz Fest is coming up, and we do have Essence Fest coming up as well, or if you're coming for those months, please shoot me an email at hello@TatiannaTarot.com just to ensure that I am going to be available. Shorty's going to be traveling a great deal. There's a lot of spiritual ceremonies coming up too, so I'm going to be a busy bee. And I would love to see as many faces as possible and get y'all in if that is the case. So, sending you so much love and ashe. Please like, subscribe, and comment on your experience below. Share with your friends for whomever may need this video. And I will talk to you and see y'all next week. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you want to see, the daily pulls. That's also at Tatianna Tarot with 2 N's. Ciao.